He can't dribble.
Oh, Kuminga with the spin, loses Anthony.
He can't shoot.
Hesitation and canning a three.
He can't create.
All the way in. Jonathan Kuminga.
He can't pass.
Blinding at 5. Nice find to Ashley.
He can't defend.
Got a step, but Kuminga stayed with him.
He has no touch.
And on the drive with the finger roll at the front of the rim.
He has no feel for the game. He has poor work ethic. And he has a questionable character. Sounds like someone just introduced a Kardashian to a basketball and immediately took notes of the ensuing immolating failure of an aptitude exercise. But nope, you would be wrong. This was actually a statement made by Jake Clark. Now, who is Jake Clark? On his Twitter, he's listed as a husband, a father, a basketball coach, and a girl dad. Jake also has ties to the Golden State Warriors inner circle of podcast guys. I'm talking about guys with direct links to the actual players. And Clark's subject? The Golden State Warriors' most exciting draft selection of the 2021 NBA Draft. This is not a slight to Moses Moody, who's exciting and a very impressive player in his own right, but the style of play that has fans losing their minds is what 18-year-old rookie Jonathan Kuminga brings to a table already chock full of tantalizing options. Now, while everyone is entitled to their opinion, this is clearly an over-sensationalized attack coming from a very emotional place. It is a lot of meritless conjecture. Whether it is a cry for help or otherwise, a grown man with a family, kids of his own, and one who is allowed to impart knowledge onto our younger generation should not be this incensed by an 18-year-old kid who literally has done nothing but work his tail off to be in his current position. Jonathan Kuminga, up to the point these tweets were made, more than likely had no clue that this man even existed. Let me tell you a story about a kid named Jonathan Kuminga. I'd like you guys to tell me if this sounds like the same person described in the opening of this video. Jonathan Kuminga was born in the Democratic Republic of Congo, located in Central Africa. It is the second largest country on the continent of Africa and is the 11th largest in the world. He has been playing basketball for a very long time, since before he could remember. That's at least 16 years ago. Kuminga's parents played basketball, so he was exposed to it at an early age. Growing up, he played with his brother, though where he's from, it isn't exactly easy to come by a basketball court, hoops, and sneakers. Now, how many of you would even consider playing basketball if you had to play without what I just mentioned? That means he had to be extremely motivated. He had to absolutely love the game. He played on dirt courts with busted sneakers with his toes coming out of them. He loved the game so much, when he wasn't playing basketball, he'd head to a spot where he could see the greatest players of our generation throw it down, a local internet cafe. When he managed to secure a half hour of internet at the cafe, he would immediately log onto YouTube, skip the ads, and be immersed into a completely different world. One with the lights, the crowd, the jerseys, the court, the sounds of the sneakers on the hardwood floor. For that half an hour, and every so often up to an hour, he would be in this dream world where he would watch the incredible highlights of Kobe dominating, as well as highlights of LeBron. He'd soak up all he could before his time was up, and he was back into his own reality. He already knew what he wanted to do, but can he do it? At just 13, Kuminga left his homeland, his family, his mother and father. There were no promises, just an opportunity to prove himself among his peers, and over time, possibly be good enough to score a spot on a high school team. Nowhere near the likes of the legacies of Kobe and LeBron, but it was a step in the right direction. His first stop was Huntington Prep in West Virginia, where he played as a freshman. For those of you not familiar, Andrew Wiggins, Miles Bridges, and Keldon Johnson all went there. He then transferred to our Xavier New American in New York, where he proceeded to average 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. During that year, he was named as the MVP of the Slam Dunk to the Beach Showcase after dropping a record 40 points in a single game at the event on his way to winning the Max Prep Sophomore of the Year award. At the end of the season, he played in the Nike EYBL against many older players and averaged 20.8 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 3.3 assists, including a 43-point game where he shot 7 of 11 from 3 against a Texas Titans team that featured Cade Cunningham and Greg Brown. At this point, he flew onto scouts' radar as a top prospect in the class of 2021. As his name flew up the ranks, more schools became interested in this 6'8" kid that was dynamic, explosive, and could read the game like a pro. He transferred to the Patrick School in Hillside, New Jersey, and after having initially been ruled ineligible for 30 days due to transfer rules, he managed to play a grand total of 5 games before getting an ankle sprain injury. Though he played for another month, totaling 15 games, he averaged a total of 16 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 3.7 assists per game as the season ended with the pandemic forcing a shutdown of all sports nationwide. Now, I've covered his G League performances in a prior video, so you guys should be up to date on all of Kuminga's performances prior to his time in the spotlight. He was being recruited by many colleges, including Duke and Kentucky, but instead chose to get paid as he wasn't too fond of the NCAA not paying athletes what they're worth. Already, he is putting his mark in sports by being one of the factors in the NCAA changing their rules to be more favorable to amateur student athletes. Kuminga is at the forefront of impacting change in the right direction on social issues and has the track record to prove it. If you think otherwise, you've yet to do any sort of research and are just talking out the wrong end of your digestive tract. So how's that for your no character and questionable work ethic? Now, if you guys have paid attention to my live streams, time and time again, I've said that Jonathan Kuminga looks like a hybrid of Kawhi and Giannis. Well, as I was putting this video together, I came across an interview with Kuminga and NBADraft.net where this question pops up. NBADraft.net asks Kuminga, "Who do you model your game after?" His response, "Kawhi and Giannis." Now, I had never before seen this interview or even heard of it, but this is for some of you folks out there that constantly come on the channel to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, there you have it. Now go smoke a fatty and chill. Having seen the incredible display of raw talent through 5 games in the Summer League, a lot of head scratching followed Clark's obscene breakdown of Kuminga's game. We saw him dribble, we saw him shoot, and while that is a work in progress, he's still 18 and his mechanics are more than workable. He's an excellent creator as he dimes his teammates quite often. He's one of the best defenders in this entire draft class. He does turn the ball over, but his hustle shows that he's engaged, and this will reduce over time. His feel for the game is much better than expected, considering his ability to read plays and drive the offense when run through him. His work ethic is unquestionable. As a 13-year-old,
he is a monster.
He moved away from everything he knows, including his parents, to forge over the course of the next 5 years what you are just now privileged to witness. His character? Well, the fact that he would even think to do this in the first place is in itself a characteristic that many are lacking. The patience and dedication to drive yourself to success compared to the quick slip of a Twitter finger across a dusty basement keyboard to reduce another's lifetime of work to a few disgruntled and thoughtless attacks on a young man that looks up to people in that position really isn't a comparison at all. I'll let you decide who has the better character. Although the most scathing, Clark wasn't the only criticism of JK on social media. As you might have seen from other prior videos, I've covered some of this stuff already. That said, Jonathan Kuminga seems to get how this thing works. Social media creates a toxic environment where everyone wants to be someone, so they pretend to be on what they think everyone else is on, and every day it's someone else's turn to burn. For young athletes to have impactful adults in society impose their own limits on them as well as to take them out of the game without a fair shot, it takes much more than sheer willpower to continue to put out the time and effort it takes to become great. Dub Nation, make sure you put your 100% support behind this kid and let him know what's in store. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Swish.
K the shit cock word, I'm a player, the real player. I don't give a prayer, man, fuck a naysayer. I block so hard, sweetie get served. Call me Lonzo Ball, bitches get swerved. Usual.